I've bought a lot of plants in my time, and a lot of them I wouldn't buy again. But these, oh, these I would buy again. First up, in no particular order, the plant that I think got me into houseplants, the Alocasia Black Velvet. I absolutely adore this plant. I think it is so beautiful. It's so striking. It's it was definitely the first plant that I saw that I really thought, wow, like that's really different. Since then, I've discovered a lot more velvety type plants that have striking veination, but none of them quite tickle me like this one. I feel as if I have an emotional attachment to this plant. It's like I said, it's one. This was definitely the first plant that I was like, oh, I'm gonna start taking this stuff seriously because, are we kidding? This is an alocasia which can be a bit more finicky. I have, I wouldn't say like just got the hang of this plant because I think I've had it for like 3 years now. But this is the biggest it's ever been. It's the best it's ever looked. I've never loved it more. And it is because I made the switch to semi-hydro. So I have got this in little tiny porous rocks as its medium as opposed to soil. When I had it in soil since I first got it, I did change it eventually into like a chunky soil mix as opposed to the bog standard stuff it came from. It was just cycling leaf after leaf after leaf. I think maximum leaves I had was 3, but one was always dying. So really I only had 2 good leaves. And since I changed it to semi-hydro, it has taken a little bit of time and a little bit of patience, but I've got 5 leaves. I'll be kidding. And I'm just so happy with it. I just think it's the most gorgeous plant. I absolutely love it in this orange pot. It's just a tried, a true. Once you've got its sort of living quarters sorted, it's so easy. As soon as I changed this to semi-hydro and it got settled and rooted in there, one of my easiest plants, which is crazy to say about an alocasia, but it is. Like, it truly, truly is. And it looks like this. You're kidding. I have to fill up the reservoir and I just get leaves that look like this. Say less. Say less and give me more. I would really recommend this one if you are looking to get into, something that's a little bit different, a little bit more, I don't want to say advanced, but alocasias tend to be a little bit more finicky than, like your monsteras and stuff. I mean, obviously it depends on your environment and different things thrive for different people, but I think across the board, alocasias are considered to be a little bit more. But I would really recommend starting with this one. If you like this foliage, which you should, if you don't, have a little word with yourself and ask yourself why. I would really, really recommend an Alocasia Black Velvet. I've also never had pests on this one, touch wood. Me just completely tempting fate, but it's just a beautiful plant. It is easy, it is stress-free. I don't know what else you need to know. I don't think you do. It needs to be in your collection if it isn't. That's my honest opinion. I I mean, obviously I love all of these plants I'm going to show you, but come on. Next up on my list, again, in no particular order, I've tried to keep, there are a lot of plants that I would buy again and that I love in the deepest, darkest parts of my heart. But I've tried to keep everything on this list quite different from one another, so hopefully there is something for everyone. But up next is the Dracaena Milky Way. Yeah, do we see that? I'm not kidding. I'm not playing around with this list. I should have dusted this plant before I showed it to you. I'm so sorry. I just think this is beautiful. The new growth comes out kind of very vibrant green and almost yellowish. And then as it matures and sort of hardens off, it goes a slightly darker shade of green and a quite nice creamy white. And I just think it's beautiful. I just, I don't know, it just reminds me of like space and the galaxies, and it's very like extraterrestrial, I think. And I just think, like, what do you mean, like, leaves can look like that? Like, are you kidding? Like, with that, like, the random spottiness and kind of like the three stripes. It's just crazy to me that that's just like natural. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, that's like something you could see on a canvas so easily. And like this piece of nature just does that. I don't know, I just find it like, but I love this plant. Again, like the Alocasia, it is so easy for me. This one sits right up in one of my window spaces. It is a easterly facing window. I just had to check. And it does really well in there. I water it when it's quite dry now, but I water it when it's 75-ish% dry, something like that. I found that this one is quite tolerant if I forget or if I give it water like a little bit too early. This actually sits in the pot of my Monstera, so I kind of just whenever water my Monstera, I just have a look at this one and see, does it need a water? And then I just kind of go from there. But it seems to be very, very resilient, at least for me. And yeah, I cannot wait to have this even bigger and bushier. I'm not sure if I kind of want to keep this like tree vibe going on, or if I'd like to take some propagations and kind of fill out the whole thing to make it a bit more bush-like, or what I kind of want to do. I think I will just wait until like the next summer, just see how this goes over winter and the spring, and then make my decisions then, because I'm not like, in a rush to cut this up or anything. I just kind of want to enjoy it for what it is. And there are 3 plants in there for me. But I just love this one. So easy, so resilient, and absolutely gorgeous. And next on the list, I would say final, but like I have a bonus. So, number 3. Again, love this one. The biggest one that I have brought over. This is my Philodendron Campii Lynette. And oh my goodness, it is absolutely wonderful. It is like a full 360 plant. It is, I just absolutely love it. Oh my gosh, trying to get like both of us in frame. I just like love it so much. I love how striking the foliage is. Like, obviously it's so like ribbed and textured, and I love the leaf shape. It's just awesome, I think. And it's probably one of my only 360 plants. This one actually sits on a table that you do see from all angles. So it is really, really nice. There are quite a lot of plants in this pot though. There are 1, 2, 3. There are 4 plants all in here. I don't know how well I'm going to be able to show you, but yeah, this is a very full pot. I actually got this year at the Malvern like spring summer show festival scenario, and I was umming and ahhing about whether I wanted it or not. I am so glad I got this. It is so easy. I I really like don't do anything to it. Oh my gosh, maybe I should. I water this one when it looks like it needs a drink, and that is it. Like, sometimes I just look at the leaves and they just look a bit sort of like downtrodden and wilted, and I think, oh my gosh, I haven't watered this one for ages. It is such an easy plant. It doesn't have, it's not got a grow light specifically for it. It gets kind of light from a grow light that is lighting up a ZZ plant, and it gets some light from the window. I do not do anything special for this one. It just exists, puts out new growth, is an absolute trooper, looks beautiful. And this is probably, if I had to pick, I don't know how to phrase it, but like my most like aesthetically pleasing, like styled plant, I think, in this room. This one, where I have it, and I just like never want to move it, but I also feel like maybe I should take one of the plants out of the pot because it's like massive, and I feel as if it's gonna start putting out like quite small growth soon because it's a bit, you know, like tight in there. I just think it suits the space that it's in perfectly. Like, I could not ask it to look better for me. Like, I would change nothing. Like, I even love the pot, which is kind of strange because blue isn't really my color. Blue and green, like, huh? I just think it really, really works. It almost reminds me of a Philodendron patriciae, which is a complete wish list plant for me. I plan on buying a cutting on payday. And I actually considered taking one of the plants out of here and putting it on a moss pole, because getting a Philodendron patriciae in the UK seems to be nigh on impossible, and a cutting is like £50. And I was like, huh? But I want it so much, I think I'm going to do it. But I literally thought about taking one of these out and trying to grow it on a moss pole because the foliage reminds me of one. I mean, not exactly, but the ribbed and the kind of shape of these leaves, they're quite like feather-like. But I think it doesn't do as well on a moss pole from what I've read. But I am having the sort of stems down there put out quite a few aerial roots, which makes me think that I should try, potentially. If anyone has ever tried to grow this on a moss pole, does grow it on a moss pole, has seen anyone that's ever grown it on a moss pole, please let me know, because I would like to try, but I don't want to kind of, you know, take a section out of here and make it ugly for no reason if they really don't do well on moss poles. But it is something that I would really like to try if it has like a chance of being successful. So please do let me know. But I'm absolutely in love with this plant. It's just like, look. I don't think there's anything I need to say. Just honestly, just showing you all three of these plants should have been enough. Ugh, obsessed. Okay, and for my bonus pick, because I could not include this on my list because I love them so much. Like, so much. But I just don't think when someone says, what's your favorite plant? Or like something like that, people ever like would consider these plants. I mean, they are plants, but they're not like your traditional like big foliage, like leaf plant, because they are my pings. I I absolutely love my pings. Like, are you freaking kidding me? Like, I'm not joking when I say I'm obsessed. And I brought over my big Tina, but I absolutely love these. I just think they are the cutest things ever. The flowers, like, are you joking? I've never really been, sorry, this one's like quite heavy. I've never really been a big want flowers on my houseplants kind of girl. My triangulus oxalis puts out flowers and I'm kind of like indifferent to them. But these I am not indifferent to, I am in love with. Like, are you joking? It already had the two flowers that you can see that are out, and the third one is the first one that it's putting out in my care, which is so cool. So that makes me think it hopefully is happy. There's a lot of kind of, not debate, because I don't know if it is debate, but when spider plants put out babies, it's usually because the plant is quite stressed and it wants to save itself. And it's not always a sign of, oh, it's flowering, it must be happy. For a spider plant, it's leans more towards a sign of distress. And I wonder what it is with like pings. Is it because they're happy and they have, you know, excess nutrients and stuff and they can like pollinate? Or I don't even know how that works, how pings pollinate, if they do pollinate. I literally don't know. But I wonder if it is a good or a bad thing, or it's not anything. It just is what it is. Um, but I don't know. But I absolutely love the flowers. Like, I'm obsessed. And I just think they're so cool. Like, are you joking? That's just so cool. One of my goals, I guess, for 2026 is to where these live in my cabinet. They are on the bottom shelf. I want to make that like just a ping shelf, like a ping section. So 2026 sees me buying a lot of pings and hopefully making some more pingdoms, because it gives me such joy to look at this little section of my cabinet where all my pings are. Every time I look at it, I just think, oh, that's so cute. And my mum was here not that long ago and she was like, oh, I really like that little section, like with the little purple flowers. And I was just like, yeah, pings are for everyone, but they do need like rainwater or distilled water or reverse osmosis water. So they are not like the most easy plant, because they they have a specific water requirement. But to me, they are absolutely worth it. We have a water butt now, so especially through the winter, it's going to be really, really easy to just have enough water for them. In the summer, it might be different, but we can get a water from our garden centre that has absolutely no like nutrients and stuff in. So we just do that if push comes to shove. But ideally, we just like to use rainwater. And I say we because my partner technically has some, oh my gosh, Nepenthes. Well, he had a big Nepenthes, we cut it up, and now there's like sections of it around the house. So I just class them as ours. But these are mine. The pings are mine. All mine. Like, how can you not be obsessed with this? And I know that there are some, not just exclusively pings in here. There are some Dracaenas. But I love them too. But I love my pings the most. So those are my three, and a bonus plant that I would absolutely buy again. The first three, everything excluding the pings, I would say is relatively easy. And I think that's why they're so high on my list. And I would purchase them again because they are something that are just tried and true. I can rely on. I don't need to be, you know, monitoring on a daily or even weekly basis, as long as they have, you know, I don't dehydrate them too much. They are perfect. I love them. I would recommend them to pretty much anyone. The only thing I would say is that the conditions that all three of them grow in they're in my plant room. And although the Campii Lynette and the Milky Way don't have, I don't do anything special with their like lights. The Alocasia Black Velvet does sit underneath the grow light, mainly because this room is very, very dark. I only have the patio window, so pretty much all of my plants that are not directly in window space are supplemented with grow light. Just because I don't have any light, I wouldn't say that it needs super, super highlight and you need a super highlight position for it. But just as a disclaimer, mine does grow like directly underneath a Barina T5 grow light. And the room that all of these are in, I try to keep at about 70% humidity. And again, it is not necessarily for these plants in particular, but I have anthuriums in here who like just generally higher humidity, so that they just get to benefit from that. So that is something to keep in mind, although I wouldn't say that they need high humidity, but it might be one of the reasons that I haven't experienced like any problems with these. But I don't think it is a critical factor to them. But just as a disclaimer, and the Piiiiings, they're a bit more finicky with their water and stuff, but they're beautiful, so I don't care. But those are my plants. Those are the plants that you need to buy now that you've watched this video, because they are 100% worth it, and I love them so much, and I want everyone to love them because you just need to. Thanks. Bye.